New at 6, the family of the 18-year-old who was stabbed to death outside a Chatham County Walmart is donating his organs.
WJCL 22 News' Grace Rodriguez is outside the hospital where he's being treated.
Over 100,000 people are on the list nationwide to receive an organ transplant. It's why the 18-year-old's family has decided to donate his.
From our ambassador to the OR, co-honor wall. From our ambassador to the OR, co-honor wall.
The teen, who his family has asked for us not to name or show his face, was wheeled into Memorial Health Friday morning. Hospital staff lined the walls of the intensive care unit as his family, doctors, and other staff members honored him with an honor walk as he was brought into the operation room. We spoke with Memorial Health's Chief of Trauma Services about the legacy the teen will be leaving behind.
This young 18-year-old had the foresight to be able to, put that on his driver's license so that he could be an organ donor, which not too many 18-year-old kids have that foresight to do.
The 18-year-old was stabbed on October 23rd at the Walmart on Highway 80 after an altercation escalated when another man left the store and the teen kicked his shopping cart as he passed by. We spoke with his girlfriend at a family gathering honoring his life. She says the teen was one of a kind.
He loved everyone, and every single person in this room, he would die for them.
According to the Health Resources and Services Administration, every organ donor is able to save 8 lives and help over 75 more. Dr. Dunn says the waiting list for organ transplants in Georgia is around 3,000. He says it's too soon for them to have found a match for the teen's organs. Dr. Dunn says that organ donation is more than just the lungs, kidney, and heart. He says every part of the body is essential, down to things like skin and eye tissue. Reporting in Savannah, Grace Rodriguez, WJCL 22 News.
Let me preference my comments by saying, first of all, nobody should ever have to lose their life over a dispute. With that said, the fact of the matter is this 18-year-old was a thug. He kicked the black dude's cart. They got into an altercation, and he did not win that altercation. And unfortunately, the result of that was him losing his life. Again, let me preface my comments by saying nobody should ever have to lose their life over a dispute. They want to portray this, 18-year-old as if he was, just a saint, a pillar of the community.
Staff lined the walls of the intensive care unit as his family, doctors, and other staff members honored him with an honor walk.
18-year-old who was stabbed to death outside a Chatham County Walmart is donating his organ.
He loved everyone. He loved everyone. He loved everyone, and every single person in this room, he would die for them.
As if he was, just a saint, a pillar of the community, and he absolutely was not. I've never kicked anybody's cart. If races were reversed, if that was a black kid who kicked the cart of a older white gentleman, and then the black kid ended up losing his life after the altercation where he kicked the white gentleman's cart, I know the comments will be totally different. I know people would have, different opinions on that. And people would automatically point to the black kid in that situation and say, well, he shouldn't have kicked the white guy's cart, and we would have all types of comments saying that, this black kid was a thug who kicked the white man's cart. We already know what type of dynamic they would use. We already know what type of angles they would use if the races were reversed. The fact of the matter is this 18-year-old was a thug. It's almost the same as the Carmelo Anthony case. Carmelo Anthony was being bullied by a white teenager, and he took it upon himself after getting no help to allegedly take the life of Austin Metcalf after Austin Metcalf assaulted him, tried to remove him from the tent, which he had no right to do, which he could have, got a staff member or an adult member to handle the situation. But Austin Metcalf, unfortunately, wanted to take it upon himself. Same instance with this gentleman here, this 18-year-old, this white 18-year-old gentleman here, who lost his life, unfortunately, because he wanted to become hostile, which is exactly what happened. The fact of the matter is this 18-year-old was a thug. He kicked somebody's cart. He became hostile. And then the black guy basically stood his ground to defend himself, which is what anybody should do. Hopefully he gets acquitted of all charges. Hopefully he does, beat this case. He did defend himself, just like Carmelo Anthony did defend himself. Hopefully the jurors, next year in 2026, hopefully they find that, that was self-defense in the Carmelo Anthony case. I think the reason why he was so quick to donate his organs is possibly because he knew that he was a thug and he was living a reckless life, and that he could potentially lose his life at any moment. I feel bad for the black gentleman who was put in that situation by a white thug. He had to defend himself, and he did what he had to do, and it's unfortunate, man. Obviously, the news wants to portray him as a saint. They're saying that he would have died for anybody in this room. Let me just say that that's not what was represented at Walmart when he decided to kick that gentleman's cart. He was not portraying himself to be a pillar of the community by kicking somebody else's cart and then attacking that person, putting them in this situation where they have to defend themselves. It's just a very unfortunate situation. It would seem that black people are getting tired of white people's antics, and that they are no longer going to take the bullshit anymore. It's what it seems. We see that with Rodney Hinton Jr., the father who ran down a random police officer after another police officer unalived his son. We see that with Carmelo Anthony. We see that here with this case, and we see that with multiple other cases. The fact of the matter is, this 18-year-old was a thug. It's unfortunate that this 18-year-old white kid put this black gentleman who was just leaving Walmart in this situation where he had to defend himself. It's extremely unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to be watching the story very closely. This is your host, Dr. Trey. Thank you for tuning in to Race and Topic Wars. Peace.